Welcome to another in the series, Sip and Chat, a place where we talk about the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. It's our pleasure this afternoon to be coming into your homes and to be talking about the goodness of the Lord. Welcome to another in the series, Sip and Chat, the program where we sip while we chat, focusing on life issues, whether they be social, economical, spiritual, or even political, but giving persons a chance to be empowered and to move from one stage of their life to the next. Well, May is Child's Month. It's also about parenting. And we just want to examine this afternoon with two lovely guests that I have. Just to talk a little bit about parenting and how the parenting style of their caregivers have impacted the quality ladies that they are today. And we really know that they will add value to the Jamaican society. So at first, I want to welcome to the set today Miss Shantavis Cain. Welcome, Shantavia.
Hello, guys.
Yes.
Nice to meet you.
Yes, we're in studio.
Yes, we
And
are.
I know this is your first time on the set, and we just want to talk a little bit about parenting. But before I get to that, I want us to understand that children are an heritage from the Lord. They are a gift from the Lord, and we should honor those who have given birth, especially those who have given birth physically, need to understand that birthing and having a child is a special gift because there are many persons who are unable to do so. And we also, of course, want to celebrate persons who continue to provide parenting oversight to children who they have not given birth physically, but have done so for a long time. So today, we want to look a little bit about different parenting styles. It was Diana Bermond, a developmental psychologist, and Stafford, a researcher, Eleanor McCoby, and John Martin, who's defined three distinct parenting styles. There's permissive, authoritative, neglect, and authoritarian. And today, in our discussion, we're going to be looking at this whole matter of parenting and the different styles and what can be the consequences of these different kinds of parenting. Because there are many persons out there, they have never gone to a class on parenting. All that they would have had in terms of skills would be what they have observed. And we know if you do not glean from good water, you will not be able to have the things, good water inside. But when you eat from a good fountain or drink from a good fountain, then you are better able to produce good water. So let's talk a little bit about, talk a little bit to Shantavia. Tell us a little bit about who Shantavia is.
Okay. Well, my name is Shantavis Cain. I am 19 years old, and I was I was born apparently with myopia, severe myopia, which put me at a bit of a disadvantage compared to others because I had to take a lot into consideration because I had a problem and I didn't know if there was a solution to it. I don't think there is for my case, but I'm still glad that I'm able to see and I'm able to communicate with others. I can see colors and everything. So thank God for that.
Right. All right. So there are many viewers who are listening to us today, Shantavia, but we're not clear on exactly what myopia is. So give us a short overview of what that is and what it causes you not to be able to do.
Okay. So myopia is technically nearsightedness, but mine is more severe than others because others can wear glasses. I can't. Glasses don't work for me. I've tried glasses. I've tried surgery. Still no progress. I'm still right where I started. But I'm still not giving up. I'm still looking for options. Maybe there is an option overseas for me. I'm not sure. But I'm still working towards it.
Right. So what does it impede you from doing? What is it that it causes you not to do?
Well, I can't play certain sports. I can't play any sports with small balls. I can't do that.
Right.
And I can't stand from the back of the class and see the board. I have to go very, very close to it, which kind of made me feel a bit embarrassed at school because I thought everybody was watching me. But I still went up and I looked and I did my work.
Right.
That's why I'm here today.
Right. So you had a challenge, but instead of being a victim of your situation, you decided to rise above it.
Yes.
And so as we're talking today, Shantavia, it is Child's Month, and we see a lot of our children saying, boy, I come from bad situations, or I don't have this and I don't have that. Talk to our audience, Shantavia, about how to just remain focused regardless of what you're going through.
Well, honestly, if you are going through a bad situation, it's not gonna be bad forever. Eventually, one day, you will have a reckoning. It might not be now, and it might not be anytime soon, but one day you will get through it. So you have to just stay focused, pay attention to what you want exactly, and go towards that. Because if you decide that, oh, I'm in a bad situation, you're going to be stuck there and you're not going to move.
Right.
So in order to really rise above everything, you have to come and say, yes, this is what I want. I will do whatever it takes to get it. And you have to be willing to work for it, because if you're not willing to do it, then you're not going to get it.
Excellent, Shantavia. Shantavia, how did you get to this place? I mean, what kind of role did your parents play in you becoming so positive and having this positive outlook on life? Talk to us about your parenting, the parenting that you were exposed to.
Okay. Well, my mom is a single mother.
Tell us her name.
Okay, my mom's name is Tanya Campbell Wilson. She's married right now.
Right.
So she got married about 2 years ago.
Okay, great.
Somebody, which is good. I'm happy for her. I'm glad that she met somebody who she can call her person.
Right.
Because I know that her and my brother, we are both children of a single mother.
Right.
They both decided that they did not want to take up that responsibility, which is not great, but
you survived.
Yes, I survived it. I'm doing very well right now. So thank you, mommy.
Right. So tell us some of the things that mommy did while so she had both of you, right? Yes. So tell us some of the things that she did that has helped you to become the lady that you are today and the optimistic person that Shantavia is.
Well, my mother is a teacher. She is a teacher. And she works during the day, which is, I don't know, I want to be able to reach a stage where she don't have to work again in her life. But I will eventually get there. But for right now, she's a teacher for 26 years, I think.
Oh, excellent. Yes, excellent.
26 years, I think she's a teacher. And she basically comes home, she cooks dinner, she does all of that, and then she will sit with us. If you have any homework or anything, she will help us do our homework. And we have to do homework. Homework is not an option.
Right.
You don't get an option to do homework. You have to do it. If you don't do it, problem. Problems. Jamaican parents overall, they are a bit laid back, I'd say. Not all of them, some of them. But my mother, when it comes down to school and anything educational related, she's very strict in that regard. But I have learned to really think about certain things, focus on what I want, and I just go ahead and do it.
Right. What are some of the values, Shantavia, that she would have taught you? Some of the things that she would have said to you that you don't do this, but you can do that, and so on. What are some of those values that you believe that those values are so important that having this opportunity today, you want Jamaica to be aware of it?
Well, one value that she passed down to me for sure is being honest. Being honest really makes things a lot easier for you. Because if you tell a lie right now, you have to go come up with the next lie.
Right.
Yes, and another one and another one. So might as well just be honest about certain situations, how you're feeling. And so basically they can come up with other options to help.
Right.
If you did something wrong, don't be afraid to talk to your parents. Please. Parents are a good outlet for a person. Right. Maybe not all parents, but if you can talk to your parents, feel free to talk to your parents. Because they will listen, or they're supposed to listen.
Right.
But some parents don't, which is understandable. But if you have a guardian, an aunt, an uncle, talk to them.
Right. So what I'm hearing you saying, Shantavia, is that, and I want our audience to understand as well, there's a quote that says one of the best legacy that any parent can leave for a child is spending time with them. Because you want to make sure that the best instructions are coming from the source, someone who you know or should love you, as opposed to going outside, having this problem, and trying to get help from somebody else. Shantavia, I know that you're a very accomplished young lady, going to university regardless of the challenge that you have problems seeing. But Shantavia, talk to us about some of the things, the deviancy that you see in our society. Does it concern you when you see those, young men scribbling out their hand middle, young girls doing all kinds of things? Does it concern you? And what would you say to those young people?
It does concern me because I want to be a mom one day.
Right.
And I don't want my child to be in a society where they have to be fighting to stay focused. I want them to see a clear path and go towards that. And I do hope that a good amount of young persons watch this and understand that life is hard. And if you're not willing to do what you're supposed to do, you're gonna struggle. And Jamaica is a place where a lot of struggling happens. So if you're willing to do the work, you will succeed in life one day. It might not be now, it might not be 10 years time, it might not be 20 years time, but one day you will get out of it.
Right. So the persons who are saying that, listen, I'm going to die under this pressure. You're saying to them that they can make it. Tell us a little bit, Shantavia. I know your mom is a Christian. Tell us about some of the rules. Did she insist that you go to church, and some of the things that you learned at church that you thought would help you to in your development?
Well, my mom got baptized about 3 years ago. 2 years ago. Yeah. And she didn't force me to go to church because she felt that I should have my own opinion. Some parents who force their children to go to church, after a while, when they grow up and get older, they don't want to go to church anymore, which is because they were forced to go. But my mom didn't force me to go to church. But now I'm getting into it, starting to think about stuff a bit deeper in that regard, because I am not successful because of my own skill.
Right.
God was always there with me.
I want you to say that again. I want you to say that
He
again.
was always with me.
Right, right.
Yes, so I wasn't forced to go to church. She didn't demand that I go, but she encouraged me to go.
So when I think about parenting style, there are four, right? So there's permissive, authoritarian, and then there's also neglect, right? But I think your mother kind of had like an inclusiveness where you had a voice, you could say something, and she would also listen to it. She would make the rules, but you also had a voice, and you felt that kind of parenting style was one that fostered your own sense of development and gave you a voice. Am I correct?
Yes, that's correct. I originally, when I started out, I did not want to do business. I wanted to be a doctor. But overall, going through high school, sciences were not my strong point. So I knew that I had to take a step back and see what was right for me.
Right.
So I discovered business, and I have been taking that up ever since. And she has always supported me on everything. She listens to my suggestions, and if it sounds like it needs a bit of tweaking, she'll tell me what she thinks about it. And I accept her advice because she's not gonna do anything wrong to me. And she only wants the best for me. So I listen to what she's saying and take that into consideration.
I know there's a new kind of like a new wave where the children actually act like they're in charge, and they're telling their parents what to do and saying, "Mom, this is not your time." Tell us about how you think children should understand that even if your parent doesn't have as much education as you are, how you should still understand the parenting role and respect.
Okay. Experiences. Parents have a lot of experiences, and they just don't want their children to experience the same things they have experienced in their life, which is understandable. Nobody wants that. And some parents have been through very bad situations in their life, and they feel that if it happens to their child, they're gonna feel responsible.
Okay.
I believe that that's what happens.
Right. So they must. So children need to understand that even though they're enlightened and they know a lot of stuff and they know a lot of things, they need to understand the role of parent and how it is important that parents just be able to be parents and their children. So we want the inclusiveness, we want the partnership, but we understand the hierarchy. All right, we're going to talk to another young lady, but is there anything you just want to say to Jamaica about, just being optimistic about the future regardless?
Jamaica right now is going towards something. It's going to a better place, I'd say. I hope everybody in Jamaica gets an equal opportunity to education, to work, to all of that. Just get an opportunity to be themselves. And if you talk to people, meet people, speak to new persons, try and understand what is going on, because networking is really what is going on right now. We're going into the technological era where artificial intelligence is taking over. So networking, knowing the right people is also good because you can get good opportunities from that.
That's excellent, because one of the things I'm hearing you say, Shantavia, is that sometimes because we don't interact with people, and we're in a little dark corner.
Yes.
We think that the entire world is dark.
Yes.
But when you get that opportunity to network, which is what a lot of young people do now, is that, and positive networking as well, because some people form bad association. But I'm hearing you say that when you form positive relations, then you can expect that it will help you to grow and become the best that you can. Shantiva, it was so great talking to you. We're going to talk to another one of your colleagues. And as we continue to talk to our viewers, we want to understand some of the things that are important in parenting. As we said, that there are basically 4 styles: permissive, we have authoritative, and then we have neglectful, and we have authoritarian. And we're going to look at another style that another young lady was exposed to and how she evolved. Thank you so very much, Shantavia.
You're most welcome.
All right.
Gentle Jesus, meek and mild, look up on your wayward child. From you I don't want to depart. Give me a worshiper's heart. Replenish my soul. Reconnect my spirit. Consuming fire, purify my heart.
So we're back again now with another young lady. But before I tell you who my next guest is, I want to use this quote by Carl Jung, or some people call him Carl Jung. It says, children are educated by what grown-up is and not by his talk. So children are educated by what the grown-up is, what they see around them, and not so much the talk. Because a lot of times when we mirror, if the action is not complementary to the talk, then there's contradictions. So we have to make sure as parents that we mirror what is it that we are actually saying. Want to welcome another lovely young lady, my special guest. I had Shantava talk to Shantava just now, but at this time I have Christy. Christy with a K. Welcome, Christy.
Hello.
Yes. And we just wanted to talk a little bit about, the whole matter of parenting. As you know, it's Child's Month. And tell us a little bit about who Christy is.
All right, so my name is Kristen Coombs. I attended the Wilmer's High School for Girls. I'm 18 years old and also a child of a single parent.
Right. All right. So talk to us about how you're a child of a single parent. Did you have any difficulties while growing up?
All right, so for my experience, it's not about like the difficulty, it's about maturing early. So it was up to me to be there for my mom, just being there for her and for my little brother and for my family as a whole. So for me, I tried my best to like put myself out there to network and to also what would you say now? I would try to be better and try to grow.
Because you saw like there were situations around you. Did you always have food on your table? What were some of the challenges that you had with growing up?
All right, so some of the challenges while growing up was that I didn't have a father at home. So when I saw my brother with his father, I was like, so where's my dad? And it also had an impact on me. Like at one point, I felt that, I wasn't wanted by my dad. But I've grown. It's past. I'm healing from it. So that's my stage at the moment.
So you really thought that having a dad was important to you?
Yeah.
Right. But what I hear you say, Chris, which is something that is important, because we know that in Jamaica there are indeed a lot of single families headed by moms, and we're going to bring some single family household as well headed by fathers, because those do exist. But what we're understanding is that the construct of mother and father really matters, and some people think it doesn't matter. Even if the child grows up being strong, it meant they had to go through a process, because you have been pretty successful as well. You have gone to Wilmer's, and tell us how well you have done.
All right, so for me, when I was a baby, all right, so normally kids at my age, like 6 years old, be getting dolls and getting toys. For me, my mother watched me and she realized, I love reading. So she instilled that, like every birthday, every Christmas, she would buy me books. So I would always be reading. So that grew me to be mentally aware of things, to like know how to see what I can't see, know the unknown and believe in the unknown.
Okay, excellent. So where everybody was getting doll and Barbies and stuff like that, you were being educated, and that is important. So from a very early age, you were very enlightened. And that spark, that quest to try to know what is happening out there. And then, so you passed your, what did you do? The PEP or GSAT?
I did GSAT, thank God. Yes, I did.
Right. And then you got through. That was, what was your school of choice?
No, it wasn't actually my school of choice. It was my third school of choice.
Okay.
My first was Campion College, and then the other one was Immaculate.
Oh, but you had an awesome experience at Woman.
Very awesome.
Right, because I know you talk about it all the time. Now, Christy, I noticed that in Jamaica today, we see like young ladies sometimes not looking very focused. They look like they're wayward and stuff like that. And sometimes it's because of their environment. How do you? I mean, you told a little bit about your background growing up, but how when you live? Because you know we talk about the inner city as well. And one thing is that we're not ashamed of where we come from, right? Because even if you can come out of an inner city community and you can blossom, right? So talk to us about how is it that as a young lady faced with challenges around you, how did you, as we say in Jamaica, how did you hold your head up high?
All right, so for me, I think what's mostly happening is that you have to be aware of what's happening, though not try to fit in.
Excellent.
You have to be better than what you see and just try to be focused on what you want, because if you say, oh, I want to be a doctor, there are so many steps you have to take to become a doctor. You have to look into yourself and say, yes, this is what I want to be, and I need to find out, do research, find out what different education levels you need to become a doctor. You try to sit down, thinking yourself, can I do this? And don't think of it in a negative way. Think of it in positive ways, because even if you don't get the subjects that you want, there's actually many opportunities out there for you to.
Chrissy, I know that there's something I want to touch on, right? You talk about fitting, but how do you avoid? Because once you come out of once you don't fit in, sometimes people label you and they call your name. So how do you just remain focused and don't oh, she's a nerd or she's a goody two shoe? How do you rise above that?
All right. I'm not sure of a definite way to rise above peer pressure. But what I do know is that everything starts from within the mind. So if you think that, oh, you feel a need to fit in, that's what's going to happen. You're going to fit in. But if you look into yourself and say, no, I need this. I want to be better than what everyone is thinking of me. I want to grow and become what I want to be. So you go after that. That's just the mindset that you need, because everything starts from the mind, as I said before. So you just have to look into yourself and say, yes, this is what I want.
Excellent. Chrissy, talk to us about how Christian values have helped you to evolve into the person that you are today.
Well, thank God many people around me are a part of the Christian religion. I have my pastor, he's a good therapist, and I have my mother. She was a Christian, but yeah, she still brought those values on me. So it's demanded that I needed to go to church every Sunday, but I didn't mind it because I understood why. And you can turn to God for completely everything, and that's why I thank Him every day. And especially one of the things that I've grown to love was just being in the church, doing different things like worshiping God in different ways. You don't have to just be praying alone. You don't have to be like worshiping alone. You can worship in your own way. So you can dance, you can sing, you can sing, you can shout, you can do whatever it is as long as you're giving praise to God.
Right. So that's excellent, because a lot of young people out there, they think that church is boring. But clearly they've never been to your church or my church. Right. But this is very important. And there are some truths that I want to pull out from what both Shantavia and as well as Chrissy is saying. That first of all, we want to encourage parents, no matter the economic challenges that you're going through, be in relationship with your children. Speak to them, ask them questions, listen to them, notice trends, notice when things are not consistent. So if they used to be happy and cheerful, what is happening now? As we know with Tip and Chat, there's never enough time, but parents, we know that the permissive child parenting style is one that is child driven, rarely gives or enforce rule, because sometimes people are so busy they can't get to lay down the rules, and then we have the neglect now where they're just uninvolved or absent, and then sometimes they justify it, Chrissy, because they might say that they don't have enough money, and then we have the authoritative where you engage the child, you open communication, and then of course there's the authoritarian where listen what I say, don't do anything. Talk to us about the style of parenting that your mother employed that you find worked for you.
All right, so my mother, well, when I was a child, she was more of an authoritarian. So she demanded that certain things supposed to be done and in the manner that it's supposed to be done. So as you wake up, bed's supposed to be spread. You don't just get up out of the bed and just go straight to breakfast or anything like that. Also, school, you had to go to school every day. If you're sick, it must be like that. You have
almost point to the point of death.
Yes. So yes, that was one of the things that she would demanded I was supposed to do.
Great. So would you say that rules, in terms of, when we're young and our mothers give us chores, would you say that those chores are also important, or a structure in the home helps you as you become older with your study patterns, even with your Christian life as well, where when you have structure in terms of assignments to do, not schoolwork now, just how your parents structure the home in terms of chores. Do you think that is also important?
Yes, that's very important because we don't know in life. We have to be aware. Death comes and we cannot avoid it happening. So you don't want that your mother passed and you don't know how to cook, you don't know how to clean, and you're just there living. Like you have to be hiring people to do these work which you could have done yourself. So it's very important that the values your parents instill on you, even though they're authoritarian, it's very important that you keep those values to yourself.
Right. I remember you and I spoke to Christy, you said your mom was very strict, but it's just the construct that she was trying to keep you within a certain scope that you would understand what was important and what was valuable at the time. Chrissy, if you had like 5 minutes or 3 minutes or 2 minutes to talk to Jamaica about young people and the need to have hope, because a lot of young people don't have hope. We see them turning to becoming a new career, which is a chopper. We see them saying that, boy, it don't make sense to be alive. There's just a hopelessness. But if you now have this open forum, give some life to people who are out there who saying, boy, we just feel like give up.
All right, so I'll tell you an experience of mine. So when I was younger, my mom, she didn't pass primary school. And she said she's giving everything to me that which she couldn't get herself. So my message to you is if you don't want to go on a path where everyone is going to watch me, everyone is going to be saying things about me, you don't have to go on it. It's just that you choose where you want to go. So if you say you want to be that doctor, go ahead. It's your mindset that changes. It's your mindset that moves everything. So be aware of your surroundings, but do not, and I mean do not put yourself to a point where you just grow with the environment and not grow out of the environment. Because there's a huge quote that I've been hearing a lot. You can take a girl from the ghetto, but you can't take the ghetto out of the girl. Well, that's true, and you find it's very true. But it's the mindset. You have to change. And that change, though it don't come immediately, you have to keep at it. You have to be consistent and you have to be persistent in everything you do.
Wow. What an excellent afternoon we have had today with Shantavia and Chrissy. And I just want to say that we know that there is hope. We've been hearing these bright young minds who have faced adverse circumstances. They could have given up. You heard it from them. They could have given up, but they held steadfast. They spoke about their own values, which were imparted by their parents and church, and the role that Christianity played in their lives. Even if they were, their parents were not Christians at the time, their parents understood the value of Christian upbringing, honesty, integrity, and trust. And so Jamaica, the change makers are us, imparting that change within others and then allowing them to become the change maker. Well, Christy, we know that Mother's Day is gone, but I'm sure that you want to give a little shout out to your mom as well. And just to say, Mommy, thank you. So talk to your mommy now, Shu.
Hi, Mom. Hello, Miss Tamara. Hey, I love you. I appreciate you. You don't know half of the things I'm trying to plan for you. I'm planning my future, but you are in it as well. So I love you. Take care, Mom.
All right. Well, you heard it from Jamaica's brightest, and I'm telling you, for the month of May, we are going to be engaging some young people young people who are saying, listen, we hear the cost of living, we see how it looks tough out there, but we have a strong faith that with God, all things are possible. They're saying to us, listen, man, get up from where you are. Be like those men who were at the door with leprosy. They didn't allow their situation to relegate them to stagnation. They said, listen, if we go over there, we shall die. And if we stay here, we shall surely die. And they got up and they made a move. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the team here at Sip and Chat, Christian, need to sip. We just want to say thank you so very much for joining us. And remember, children live what they learn. And on that day, we will all have to give an account for how much we invested in our children to giving them a fair opportunity to be the best that they can be. Until next time, continue to listen and be a beacon of hope in this nation as we continue to rear excellent men and women in Jamaica. Bye.